This bear season is probably the best bear season I've had so far. We were able to go out 4 different weekends, and we hiked about a total of 50 miles, and we ended up seeing 8 different bears. We went the first weekend, we saw a Sauna cub, and then we went again and we saw a beautiful cinnamon bear. Made a really good stalk on it. Almost got that bear, didn't quite get it. And then the third weekend I went with my brother and we saw a big black bear. We hiked about 2.5 miles to get to it. We saw it about a mile away and didn't quite get to it, didn't see it again. But on the way there we saw a Sauna cub. And then the last weekend trip we went on was when I was able to harvest a bear, and I saw 2 different bears on that trip. So saw bears every time I went out, and was able to finally harvest one the last weekend. And so it's just been a really fun season for hunting bears. We started early on in August. The berries weren't quite ripe up where we wanted them to be ripe, and ended up getting one on September 8th. A normal year for me is to see 1 bear or 1 or 2 bears and not get anything. So this year, to be able to see 8 bears and actually get one made it a pretty awesome year. And to be able to go with Christy made it really special as well. And she got to see a lot of bears, a lot of wildlife, and just cover a lot of miles in some really pretty country in the Cascades in Washington State. Ideally, I'd be able to share these experiences and these trips with everyone, but since I can't do that, I'm hoping that this video will just help me be able to share in a little way, in a small way, the experiences that we had on these trips. And so if you're watching this, I hope you enjoy it. What are your feelings?
Well, I thought they'd be bigger and scarier. But it looks like a puppy dog.
Yeah, it's not huge.
It feels like you'd be petting a dog. And this has a little face.
This is my first chocolate bear. All the other bears I've shot have been black, and this one's just a beautiful chocolate color. The bear came out and all I could really see was its head, and I saw it through my binoculars. I ranged it and then pulled my gun up and I could never find it again. So I looked in here and all I could see is like brush moving. And so we watched brush moving for quite a while, and then I was like, Christy, do you see it? And she was like, not really. And I was like, maybe I'm just making stuff up. And watched, and there's wind and there's brush moving, but I swore like something was making the brush move. So we waited and waited, and then it finally popped out and shot it at 120 yards. So I saw all 4 feet as it was rolling down the hill, and I was pretty sure I got it. So it wasn't too bad of a tracking job. And then on our way in here, we saw the biggest huckleberries we have ever seen. Well, I've ever seen in my life. They're huge. And so I could definitely see why he was in here. So I think I'm going to clean it and take care of it, and Christy's going to pick huckleberries in the next hour or so.
We just found the biggest huckleberries ever. They're like, I actually, like, this really is a blueberry. That is the size of a blueberry. Let's see.
I wish there was a way to get the perspective.
Get a tiny little one from that bush.
Like an average one. This is an average big one here.
It's huge.
The big one is like,
and it's
I've never seen them quite this big before.
It's not a one-time thing. It's like everywhere. Is it worth it? Can you?
I'm looking forward to getting to the trail.
You're almost there. If you come this way, you can snack on some huckleberries. You're carrying both packs?
You said you weren't going to be able to get those.